The state of the squad, hope, but no guarantees. Injury concerns hovered over the room early on. Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, and Ben White all missed Arsenal's midweek trip to Spain, and their availability for Sunday is still uncertain. If there's a chance, we'll know after tomorrow's session, Arteta said. They haven't trained yet, so we'll get more clarity soon. William Saliba, who returned to the squad in Bilbao but didn't feature, is also being carefully assessed. He's pushing himself really hard. He looked good, and we'll decide tomorrow what's best. There was some relief, though. Both Mikel Merino and Victor Gyökeres, who picked up head knocks earlier in the week, are fine and available. We'll break that down in today's video, along with all the other Arsenal news from the last 24 hours. There's a lot to cover in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Arsenal content. Internal shifts, saying goodbye to Tim Lewis. The surprise announcement that Tim Lewis, Arsenal's executive vice chairman, is stepping away from the club, came just hours before Arteta addressed the press. His reaction was heartfelt. Tim's someone I've loved working with. He's been a key figure in everything we've done these past few years. I'm really grateful for what he's given this club, and to me, personally. The transition comes alongside other changes at the board level, including new appointments and the formal elevation of Richard Garlick as CEO. Change is part of growth, Arteta reflected. We welcome the new members and look forward to what they'll bring. The vision hasn't shifted. If anything, it's becoming more focused. A rivalry rooted in respect, Arteta on Guardiola. Facing Pep Guardiola is always personal for Arteta. He was once Pep's assistant at City, and he speaks of him not just as a mentor, but with genuine reverence. For me, he's the best coach in the world. He sets the bar. His drive, his standards, the way he evolves, that's what makes him different. I learned so much from him, and I always will. That said, Arteta isn't here to reminisce. He's here to compete. We know what they bring. They're still the standard. But we've built something, too. The bigger picture, mental health and human values. This weekend, Arsenal will open its suicide prevention support service for the first time during a match, giving supporters a space to ask for help if they need it. Arteta spoke powerfully about the initiative. I'm incredibly proud the club is taking this step. Mental health isn't something we can ignore. Football is passion, but it's also pressure. If we can help even one person feel less alone, that's a win. Footballing philosophy, depth, adaptability, and the modern squad. Arteta was asked about the evolution of his team, not just tactically, but in mindset. The old stigma of being benched has vanished. At Arsenal, the substitutes don't just wait, they finish games. We had this conversation in pre-season. Every player has a role, starter or not. Some will play 30 minutes and change everything. We saw it in the Champions League. This is modern football. And that depth is showing. With Zubimendi settling in well beside Declan Rice, and players like Trossard and Martinelli finding rhythm, Arteta has tools he didn't have a year ago. Zubimendi is brave. Smart. He's adapted quickly. And it's clear we now have real balance in midfield. The road ahead, pressure, belief, and legacy. This match isn't just about 3 points. It's about statement and trajectory. If Arsenal avoids defeat, Arteta will become the first Premier League manager to go 5 games unbeaten against Guardiola's Manchester City. But he's not focused on records. We prepare to win. That's it. The rest? It doesn't matter if we don't perform. Asked if City's recent stumbles are a sign of vulnerability, Arteta was firm. They'll be there. No question. I know Pep. I know what he expects from that team. But so will we. We're growing every day. On the future, with optimism, not fear. With so much change in the boardroom, fans might wonder what lies ahead. Arteta doesn't just reassure, he paints a picture. A wonderful future. That's what I see. The ambition I hear from Josh and Stan Kroenke, the direction we're taking, this is a club that's ready for something big. He admitted that losing colleagues, some of whom he's worked closely with, is never easy. You build relationships. You share the same dream. But everyone has their own path. What matters is we keep building together. And on Holland? Keep him quiet again. In 4 recent games against Erling Haaland, Arsenal's defense has allowed him just 2 shots on target. It's no accident. He doesn't need much to hurt you. But stopping the supply is just as important. We'll have to get that balance right again. Sunday, a test of everything Arsenal is becoming. In 5 years, Mikel Arteta has reshaped this club. Piece by piece, culture by culture, standard by standard. Now, with his team riding a wave of confidence and momentum, Sunday's showdown feels like more than just a big game. It feels like a defining one. And Arteta knows it. We've come a long way. But we're not done. Let's take the next step, together. As Sunday's clash with Manchester City approaches, Arsenal's preparation is being shaped not only by tactical planning, but by key injury doubts, internal changes at board level, and the broader context of the title race. Injury concerns that could define the match. Mikel Arteta is facing serious late decisions regarding several of his most influential players. Captain Martin Odegaard, winger Bukayo Saka, and defender Ben White are all still in doubt. None have completed full training, and a final call will only be made after Saturday's session. It's not just about their availability, it's about how much risk Arsenal are willing to take this early in the season. At the same time, William Saliba, who missed midweek action, is pushing to return, while Mikel Merino and Victor Gyökeres have been cleared after minor head injuries, adding much-needed depth to the squad. The absence of Odegaard or Saka would not only weaken Arsenal's structure but also shift the responsibility onto players like Martinelli, Trossard, and ease to step into more decisive roles, something they've done well recently, but not yet against a side like City. Changes behind the scenes, steadying the message. The recent resignation of Executive Vice Chair Tim Lewis marks another significant change within the Arsenal hierarchy. Arteta was quick to praise Lewis's influence and contributions, but the fact remains, the club has now seen several high-profile changes in its leadership team over the past 5 years. Despite this, Arteta remained clear. The message from ownership has been consistent, and he expressed full confidence in the vision being pursued behind the scenes. There's no indication, at least from his comments, that these boardroom shifts will impact the team's day-to-day operations or ambition. Still, for fans and observers, the frequency of changes naturally invites questions about long-term planning and alignment across the club. Arteta, for his part, remains calm, describing the future as very optimistic. Facing Guardiola, familiarity without comfort. Arteta knows Pep Guardiola better than most, having spent years by his side at Manchester City. But that familiarity doesn't make these encounters easier. In fact, it raises the stakes. Guardiola has, in recent comments, pointed to Arsenal's own heavy investment in the transfer market, a subtle reminder that pressure isn't just on City to perform. Arteta, meanwhile, continues to focus on performance, consistency, and building a team capable of competing with the very best, not just for 90 minutes, but across a full season. Both managers face personnel uncertainty. City's midfielder Rodri remains a doubt, and if he doesn't feature, it could change the dynamic in the middle of the pitch, potentially giving players like Zubimendi and Rice a better platform to control tempo and dictate transitions. Tactical choices, emotional weight. Arteta has been rotating carefully, using his substitutes well and demanding that every player, starter or not, understand their role in what he calls a 3-day football cycle. This is a modern necessity, especially in a team with Champions League and Premier League ambitions. Players like Trossard and Martinelli are peaking at the right time. Their impact in recent matches gives Arteta valuable options, particularly if Saka or Odegaard are not fit. The flexibility shown by players like Ease, adapting to different roles depending on the opponent, gives Arsenal a tactical edge, one they will need if they're to overcome City again. Arteta is fully aware of the emotional weight this match carries. Not just because of the opponent or the title implications, but because of what a strong performance would represent. Proof that Arsenal can navigate adversity, adapt when it matters, and compete at the highest level with or without a full-strength squad. Mental health and club responsibility. In a significant off-pitch development, Arsenal will open its mental health support service during Sunday's match, a first in the club's history. Arteta expressed deep pride in the initiative, emphasizing how important it is to create space for fans and individuals to ask for help and feel supported. For a club that often speaks of community, this is a meaningful step, a reminder that football, while full of pressure and emotion, also has the power to protect, uplift, and connect. Looking ahead. Sunday's match will not define the season, but it could shape its direction. A win would reinforce belief, show depth, and signal that Arsenal are not just chasing City, they're ready to stay ahead. A draw or narrow loss, especially with key players missing, would still offer positives if the performance shows resilience. A poor showing, on the other hand, could raise questions about how thin the margins are when Arsenal aren't at full strength. Whatever the outcome, what's becoming clear is this: Arsenal are not hiding from the moment. Arteta and his squad are embracing it, aware that the journey to the top is as much about how a team handles disruption and uncertainty as it is about tactics or goals.